gonna get out of it. Yeah, we're gonna get out of it.
Oh my God, I've lost my way and I'm not good at navigating. I love my mom, but she's a stranger. Last thing I said, I'll see you later. Are we gonna get out of it? Yeah, we're gonna.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage. Our Daddy Christy.
Hello! Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Cheers. Thank you. Sorry, I'm late. It's late. A couple of minutes I was talking about, not the years. How are you? Good? Thanks very much for coming out. It's lovely to be back, isn't it? Back in the everyman. Back to normal, kind of like them I was talking about there. The masks are even going, you know. So, some people love them, though. Some people love the masks. I was out there, a fella parking his car, mask on. No one else in the car with him. What's he worried about at this point, you know? I imagine he's the kind of fella now that throws a condom on before he has a wank. Like, that's my, you know, just in case someone runs in and jumps onto me. In the very last minute. I'll put two on it just to be sure. It's fantastic. I was meant to be doing this show nearly 2 years ago here. It didn't happen, like, you know, I was living in England. We were locked down. I was locked down in England. We did it all. You know, my wife cut my hair. It was a very stressful 8 hours. And that's how long it took. 8 hours for my wife to cut my hair. 8 hours. That's a long time, isn't it? All my fault. All my fault. Do you know what she said to me? You have very strong hair. I have very strong hair. She said it's like cutting carpet. I've never seen you cut carpet in my life. Or why the fuck anyone needs to cut carpet. Like, they don't grow, do they? As far as I'm concerned, like. Do you ever have someone around your house and you're like, sorry, no, the carpets are very long. Meaning to get someone in for that. 8 hours, that's how long it took to cut my hair during the lockdown. She's cutting my hair. The razor kept breaking in my head, dying in my head, crying. I would die and then she'd have to cut the fucking razor out of my head, unclog it, you know, charge it up again. You know, I was over there for a long time though in London, 6 years, I think it's a long time. I was settled, like, you know. I had my barber, actually. You know, so when you know what I'm on about, lads. When you get your barber, you're kind of in a place. Like, this is the way now, right? The barbers I used to go to, the fella that owned the place was my favourite. He's brilliant. He's the best. There was another barber there then. He was very good too, but he wasn't as good as him, right? Very good, but he wasn't as good as him. There was a third barber that started working in that barber's, and to this day, I don't know how he got the job, right? Destroyed my head. I swear to God now, fucking destroyed it, right? But I still go back there because I like the other two barbers, my favourite barbers, right? I go into that barber's one time, barber number 3 is spinning his victim around for the day. And to be honest with you, I'm just glad it wasn't personal, you know? I'm like, this fella fucking can't cut hair at all. But I'm delighted because there's 2 fellas ahead of me. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Fucking dodged a bullet there, boy. I've never experienced confidence like this, though. Barber number 3 went, next, and the guy went, no. No. He went, no, I'm waiting for Sean. I was like, fucking hell. Thank God there's another fella. He said next again. The other fella didn't even look up from his newspaper. I'm good. He's good. He's all right. Down to me, the most fucking polite man in the room. Don't judge me for what I did next, okay? He's already destroyed my head. Barber number 3 said next again. I said, yeah. And I took my child out of a buggy. I just fucking panicked. Yeah, hang on a sec. I just had to wake him up. He's having a nap, all right? Come on, buddy. Time to get up. Time for your first ever haircut. Put him in the chair. I said, he's next. Fucking destroyed his head. Genuinely, no. Made shit of the young fella. I swear to God, no, right? He asked me at the end, he said, can I give him a lollipop? I said, you can give him a few. You can. My wife is not happy about that story, I swear to God. I went back to my wife, she was like, Jesus Christ, Christopher. That's his first haircut. Supposed to be special. I was like, you know, if special's what you're after, that's, I'll book him in again next month. You know? I moved back home then, like, I was moving home anyway, to be honest. It was nothing to do with the lockdown. I was moving home. I lived in London for 6 years, and we thought long and hard about it. And the comedy was going well here, and, you know, I was like, fuck it. Humming and hawing about it, and eventually we just said, fuck it. Go for it, Chris. What's the worst that can happen? Got a fairly loud answer there, didn't I? I ended up living in my childhood bedroom with my wife and kids. That is, that's the worst that can happen there. Getting fucking mad at my dad again for no reason. My fucking childhood bedroom, my wife and kids, you know. There's posters there they never should have seen, you know. Sorry, kids, I was supposed to be doing the Everyman in Vicar Street, but here we are. You know, I've been mad at my dad since I lived in the house. Long time ago. What is it about dads, like, getting up earlier every fucking year? Every year of his life, he gets up a small bit earlier. I know, is he just afraid he's not going to wake up anymore? He doesn't have to go out the door till about 7:45 to work. He goes down the stairs about 5:30. Yeah? What the fuck is he doing down there? 5:30 in the morning. Emptying the dishwasher. Good man, yeah, that couldn't wait. That couldn't wait. Had to be done at 5:30, yeah. Empty the dishwasher. Flushing the toilet, yeah. Good man, yeah. Trying to keep the kids asleep. I couldn't give a fuck what you do in the toilet at 5:30 in the morning. I wouldn't hold it against you if you didn't flush it down. Do you know what I mean? Let me wake up on my own time and call you a pig. That's what I say. I got up to go to the toilet one morning. My dad was in there. Eventually the door opened. He was leaving with a shovel. Wasn't even flushing his own shit down the toilet. 5:30 every morning. Do you think that's acceptable? Flushing a dog shit down the toilet at that hour. And we don't have a dog either. We've no dog. I had to get out. It was lovely, but I had to get out. I had to go onto the internet and delete all the jokes about being a terrible electrician and get a job as an electrician. I had to get out. Going back to work, scary, like, you know, 12 years, a long time to be out of work and doing this, like, and, you know, all these things that I hadn't thought about for a long time. All the old fears coming back, like, you know, all the old fears. Fucking cross-treading. Cross-treading. You don't even know what I'm talking about, do you? I'll explain it to you. Do you know when you're putting a bit of flat pack furniture together, yeah? Bit of IKEA, making a Billy bookcase. One screw to go, top corner. Screw's going in, it's getting a bit tight. It's nowhere near home, but it's getting tight. You say to yourself, fuck it, I'll drive it on a bit. Don't ever do that. All of a sudden it won't go in, it won't come out. You have a Billy bookcase with a bowl sticking that much out of it and a much bigger argument on your hands. You can try and say it's for hanging your coat, they never believe you. It's for hanging your coat. See, the reason is, right, I remember, I'll have to bring you back to when I first went onto a building site. Like, cross-treading, like, you know. I first got my job as an apprentice when I was about 18 years of age. Give you a small bit of backstory, you know, right? I was 18 years of age. I got offered the job, and my first day at work was in Gormanstown, County Meath. Fair bit away outside Cork now, right? I was 18, 19 years of age. I looked 11. I was 48 kgs, and the reason I remember that is because I used the box at the time. And if you're trying to figure out what that is in your head, it's about 7 bags of sugar, right? I had a retainer because I had an overbite. I had to keep these teeth together all the time. See them teeth and them teeth? Keep them closed to correct an overbite. 48 kgs, keeping them teeth together. I don't know where my dad got the safety boots, but they were far safer than everybody else's, right? I could barely lift my fucking legs in these safety boots, yeah? How did this happen, yeah? I was getting picked up in Douglas, At about 4:30 in the morning on a Monday morning, 4:30 in the morning, getting picked up in Douglas. For some reason, the battery in my phone went dead. It was a Nokia 5210. It never happened. On the Sunday night, the battery in my phone went dead. My mother burst into the bedroom the next morning. You're after missing your lift. You're going to ruin your print. Oh, fuck it all, that panic. I had to go in. My dad had to drop me into town. I had to get a train to Dublin, a bus across Dublin, another train, and then another bus to Garmanstown, County Meath. I was 7.5 hours late for my first day on an 8-hour day job. Walking onto it looking like that. A fucking greyhound in a high-vis jacket that couldn't open his mouth. Sorry, I'm late. My alarm went dead. It actually went in my favour, man. They took one look at me and they didn't even give out to me. Oh, fuck, don't worry about it. You come in whatever time you want, all right? Anytime you want, bye. Any day you want, come in whenever you want. I watched an electrician putting up lights for about 6 weeks. He was putting up lights, watching them. That's all you do. Finally gets to a light, yeah, 3 bolts in it. He said, "Do you want to put the last bolt in? I need to go to the toilet." I said, "I do." He said, "Whatever you do, don't cross-thread it." I didn't know what he was fucking talking about. I said, "Obviously." He gave me his little ratchet thing, you know? The little bolt in it, I put it into the wall. No bother, straight in. It felt good though, so I took it back out. Put it back in again, I don't know how many times I did it. All of a sudden it got tight and it wasn't in, you know? I said, fuck it, and I tried to put all my weight on it, which wasn't a lot. All of a sudden then the bolt wouldn't go in and it wouldn't come out, it was sticking that much out of the wall. I started to panic. Oh, Jesus Christ, you know, like this is the last light in the building. I think this is cross-threading. I think this is what he was talking about. He told me not to do that. I panicked. You know, your head goes to a bad place. Like, do you know what they do in that situation? They knock the building down. That's what they do. In my head, that's all you can do. They're going to knock the fucking building down now. Oh, Jesus Christ. Panicked. If you approach my ladder there and then from witness protection, I swear to God, right? "Excuse me, sir, you look a bit bothered. We can get you out of this trouble. If you want to come with me, you'll never see your family again. You'll have to learn another language." There and then, I'd have gone straight with that man. The electrician would have returned. There'd be a fucking retainer and a pair of boots at the end of a ladder. Anyone see that young fella, no? The electrician came back and I was panicking, shit, and I was like, "I'm sorry about the cross-threading it. I'm really sorry. I'm fucking so sorry." He said, "Don't worry about it. Put the cover on the light. Who's gonna know?" All of you know, I suppose. But it's mad though, I did get through my apprenticeship, it was fantastic. Like, remember getting qualified, and it's crazy going back to work now. The fears are still the same. It's like cross-threading. Being sent outside Cork is still a massive fear for apprentices. That was my favourite thing to do as an electrician when I was working in Cork. Make up jobs outside Cork that didn't exist to the other fucking apprentices. I remember working down at Mahon Point. The place was only out of the fucking ground. It was a fucking field we were standing in. And me and the other electricians were like, "Jesus Christ, this place is closing in fairly fast, isn't it?" What you reckon, we have about a week left? Fucking if we're lucky, I'd say. If we're lucky. Oh, jeez, what? Don't worry though, there's jobs starting in Dublin. Jobs starting in Dublin, yeah. We have the contract for the M50. Yeah. We've got the contract for the cat's eyes on the M50. All the little apprentices thinking they're going to Dublin to wire the cat's eyes into a motorway. It's absolutely beautiful. They were going around the place. "Are you going to the cat's eyes job?" "I'm going to the cat's eyes job, I think, yeah." It's a terrible job, isn't it? Wiring the cat's eyes into the road. And that job is getting further and further away from Cork, like, you know. You're on a fucking road, it's going all the way to Belfast eventually. Beautiful though, one of the apprentices never returned to work. Never returned to work. This is before social media, didn't know who he was when he was first. He was gone. Never returned to work. Because he believed he was going to Dublin to wire the cat's eyes into the motorway. I didn't see him for about 3 years. 3 years later, in Mahon Point, I was still fucking working in the place. I told him I had about a week left. Walked into the Tesco's in Mahon Point. There he was, the apprentice in a Tesco's uniform, stacking the shelves. Has the joke gone too far? Or has it gone far enough? You know, there's always an opportunity. I was just about to get on the tannoy, do a Tesco staff announcement, and tell him he was being moved to Tesco's Abu Dhabi, you know? He caught me. All right, Christy, how are you? It's my name. Christy is something they used to call me before. The name of the show now tonight is called Christy Doesn't Live Here. I was meant to be performing it so long ago, I actually live here now. So, it's, but that's still the show. That's still what the show is called. Thank you. But we're here now, we're here. The reason I called it Christy Doesn't Live Here is because when I was small, my friends used to knock into my house and they'd say, is Christy coming out? And my mother would say, Christy doesn't live here, and just fucking close the door in their face. Wouldn't let me out in there, calls me Christopher. But, I didn't just move back to Ireland for for the gigs. The gigs were going well, but obviously I obviously always wanted to come back. It was bigger things than gigs that drove me back to Ireland. Fucking sandwiches, you know. Being able to get a sandwich made. Jesus Christ, lads, you have no idea how good you have it in this country. You can get a sandwich made fucking anywhere here. In Ireland, you can get a sandwich made in any shop. They don't even have to sell sandwiches. You just have to ask for one. Sorry, any chance of a sandwich? Do you still want these in a size 9? Yeah, I do, yeah. I'm after getting very fucking hungry. Beautiful. Get sandwiches made everywhere. There's a lovely saying in Ireland, I used to always think about it when I was homesick. You're never more than 6 feet from a sandwich. Have you heard that? Do you remember that one? I'm not saying you can't get sandwiches in England. You can. But they won't make you a sandwich. That's the difference. I go into a shop over there in London. Sorry, can I get a sandwich? They're like, they're over there. No, sorry. I think you're misunderstanding me here. I don't want one of them fucking sandwiches made in a factory in China 7 years ago. I'm hungry, not suicidal. I want you to make me a sandwich. We don't do sandwiches. There was a Morrison's near where I lived, big supermarket chain. They had a deli and a bakery. A deli and a bakery, and they wouldn't make you a sandwich. You know what they said to me? We make you a wrap. We make wraps. Do you not make sandwiches? No? No, we make wraps, only wraps. Could you not just, no? No, we only make wraps. I bought a wrap and took it home with me and put it into a sandwich, all right? So, desperate. I always had to come home. The only way you can get a sandwich over there, and this is truth, right? The only way you can get a sandwich in England is if you go into one of their pubs and order a sandwich. That's the only way you can get a sandwich made to order. And do you know what now? They love dogs to the point where I believe even the dog is uncomfortable, you know? They bring dogs everywhere with them. Have you been over there? Bring dogs to the pub. They bring dogs to the restaurant. They bring dogs on a night out. If one of your friends turned up tonight with a dog, you'd be like, am I fucking seeing things there? Or do Gary have his dog with him? Do you know what I mean? Like, I've seen Irish people leave their guide dogs outside. I'd be like, I'm not fucking bringing you in there. I'd rather go in and bump into everything, you know? Fucking mortified. Over there, though, you go into the fucking Hennon fucking newspaper or whatever shit pub they have, and wall-to-wall fucking dogs. There's a fucking pug in a high chair. Oh, that's great, yeah, you know. You don't have any more high chairs, no? No, the pug took the last high chair there, sorry. Yeah, there's a dog in a high chair. You're grand. I'll just sit my child on my lap while I try and have a sandwich. Don't worry about it. I have a very healthy relationship, though. I'm slagging off, obviously, but the whole English-Irish thing, I think, are fucking beyond it, like. But something happened over there, right? I met a couple of dogs, and they had given them Irish names. The English people gave their dogs Irish names, and it triggered something in me. I know what it was, right? I fucking met a dog called Seamus. I was like, fucking bring back the rat. Is that too strong? Is that? Seamus the fucking dog. Neve. That's my wife's name. I thought someone knew my wife in the park. Someone is calling you there, Niamh. 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 And I was like, Niamh, they want you over there. Niamh. Niamh. Fucking Niamh. I don't give a shit. Like, a dog's name doesn't deserve fathers. That's all I'm gonna say. Keep the fuck, you know what I mean? Like, I'll go one further. I'd say you should have 4 or 5 names for a dog. You can pick from them and forget about it if you know what I mean? Rover, Spot, Ben, you know? Sorry to any Bens in there now, but what's after happening there is your mum and dad gave you a dog's name. That's all. That's all that happened there. You know, went back to England, of course, and I used to go back at Christmas time, right? Back here at Christmas. Last time I flew back to England at Christmas, it was always the most depressing time to go back. It's 4th of January, it's shitty weather, you know, pushing in the door of my little apartment. There's bills all over the ground, and it's the 4th of January now, my 2 kids with me, right? I'm a fucking fully grown man. There was a parcel addressed to me. A parcel. Do you know what popped into my head? Santa. Santa. I even said it to my son, I think Santa got Daddy a present. I opened it up. It was an enema. Because I'd forgotten that I had a colonoscopy booked the following week. Now, listen to me now, right? I don't know if you've ever gone from thinking you have a present to remembering you have a colonoscopy. That's one of the most fucking unpleasant things that's ever happened to me in my life. Oh my God, I'm after getting a present. Oh, I don't. I have to shove that up my arse next week. That's what you get for having a bit of hope. And I didn't even need the colonoscopy. That was the most annoying part. All happened when my son was potty training. My wife was like, Daddy will show you the poos in his toilet. Why? Daddy will show you the poos in it. Don't you be showing him the fucking... Why not? He has to learn. Look, they're not great at the moment. It's a bit of blood in them, you know. Don't worry, but some of the fellas know what I'm talking about. Pushing too hard, trying too hard, that's all it is. She's shocked. She's like, are you fucking serious? I'm like, yeah. You have to get that checked out. I don't. You have to get that checked out. I don't. How long's it been happening? 16 years. Still here. So I had to get checked out, you know. Went into the hospital then with the kids. I was late for the hospital, right? And I was in no parent and child parking outside, so I was late. I was running through this hospital looking for the endoscopy unit to get the fucking treatment or whatever you call it. And I was looking for the endoscopy unit. I was panicking. I was running around this hospital looking for it and trying to follow the signs. It was all very confusing. Eventually, I joined the queue, and a nurse came out to the queue then, and she came up to me with a form, and she gave me the form. Question number 3 on the form was, what's wrong with your breasts? Big red flag there now that I might be in the wrong queue. But I'm too nice to ask. So I just wrote nothing. I don't see what this has to do with my arse, but I filled out the entire form. Gave it back to a very confused nurse. She came back to me straight away. What's wrong with you? Said I have an appointment there for the endoscopy unit. Well, this isn't the endoscopy unit. This is for breast cancer screening. And I felt a bit stupid, you know. But then she said something that drives me mad. She said, this is for breast cancer screening. You do know that, don't you? I do, yeah. That's exactly why I'm here. I don't even need the endoscopy. I'll just get my tits checked all together as well. My kid's with me today. He's watching Thomas the Tank Engine on the fucking phone all day. Yeah. Do you know what? No, I do, yeah. Just give my tits a quick feel. And do you know what? No, point me in the direction of pediatrics after that. I'll go down there and sit in a fire engine and confuse some prick down there, yeah? Somewhere else I'm not meant to be. I said it to her, I swear. I was like, you know, they're the same type of people that say, I don't want to burst your bubble. You know, these fucking... They always have a pin in their bag, those pricks. That's what I find. I don't want to burst your bubble now, but I'm going to. No, they can't do it. But it's great. You know what I miss actually the most, being honest, going back to work, I thought it was a great thing to do, and I'm happy out. What I miss the most going back to work is hanging out with my kids during the day. I didn't realize how cool that was, you know. I'd be going around with the kids during the day the whole time. Baby chinos walking around the place. The pity you get off mothers mainly, because you go into these play groups, there's 7 or 8 mothers. Oh, like, you know, all right. Where's your wife? I'm like, she's not around. I'm like, oh my God, what happened? Well, she's in work till 3:30, that's all. It's just me and them till then, you know. I miss hanging around with them though. I was hanging around with the kids will teach you things you didn't even know you knew about yourself, you know. I thought I was addicted to my phone. I think a lot of us are. I was on my phone the whole time, and I started, my small one is called Evelyn now, and she's 2, and she never ever stops talking. However, about 8 or 9 months ago, when she's learning how to talk, I'd always be on my phone around her. She couldn't say very much, you know. Couldn't tell anybody. Something like that. Out of the blue, then she said it to me one day. She said, Daddy, put your phone away, please. Yeah, I know, honest to God, it broke my heart, because I fucking love that phone. You know, I was like, where's your phone, Evelyn? I gave you my phone, remember? You have my old phone, there's €7 credit on it, like. All my banking apps, what do you have to fucking do with it? Go to the old play groups and all that. 6 o'clock in the morning, that's when that conversation would happen. That's when you have kids, you have conversations at 6 o'clock in the morning. Normally you don't. You're not used to talking at that time. The last time I talked at that time was in house parties. That's the only other time you go from talking shit at house parties to cleaning shit and talking shit with your kids. And that's the transition of it. And I didn't even like house parties. I went to house parties the whole time, and I just went to them. I always got stuck in the corner with some fucking, you know, stuck in the corner like that. The last one I was at, there was about 5 of us here. There's a fella chatting, yeah. Hey guys, you know, like, what would you do if you had £1 million? And I was like, not this shit. Fucking hypothetical quizmaster. I've met a few in my time. I know what he's doing. He's a very good answer for what he'd do with £1 million. He's going to mop up all the shit here and give us his fucking brilliant answer. What would you do if you had £1 million? John? And John was like, oh, I'd buy a cool car. Ah, fucking brilliant, John, yeah. Even your imagination is boring, like, you know. Sandra, you're up. What are you going to do? Sandra's like, I'd give a good bit of it to charity anyway. Sandra, yeah, would you? Yeah. I met Sandra about 18 hours earlier now. 18 hours earlier. She told me she had €10 to her name. She's still here at a fucking house party, yeah? She's going to give a good bit of it to charity. Do you want to know why, Sandra? Because you wouldn't last a fucking week. That's why, all right? A tenner does this, or £1 million, she's fucking gone, right? And then he gets to me. He's like, Christy, what the fuck? Where'd that come out of? Christy, big man, £1 million, what are you going to do? I was in no form for it. And I couldn't even pretend to have an answer. I just said, I don't know. Come on, man, it's £1 million, what are you going to do? I don't know. Come on, you have to say something. I was like, honestly, I don't know, just like move on. Please, I haven't the clue. Come on, it's £1 million. It wasn't my intention, right? But I advise you to do this as well in that situation. Because inevitably, you will be offered more imaginary money, all right? All of a sudden, he was like, 10 million. I'm like, all right, fucking hell. Sandra and John were looking at each other. What the fuck did we do? I said, I still don't know. Honest to God, I don't know. I haven't a clue. And he kept going. 20? I'm like, okay, we're back down to 20, are we? He was like, no, 20 million. And I was like, I don't know. Honest to God, I don't know. I must have got to about fucking $500 million with him. 11 minutes later, I was blocking his answer. It was joyous. And finally, I put him out of his misery. Oh, come on, Chris, $500 million. Surely you can think of something. I said, all right, so. He said, finally. I said, the first thing I do anyway is have you killed. That's the very first thing. I get easy, get that or no? $500 million. $500 million. Don't go to the house parties anymore, though. Go to the play groups. The kids, you know. It's fucking hard to find a good play group as well, to be honest. In the play groups, what? You know, I was in a play group one time with, there was a guy next to me, rarely a dad there. I was excited. There's rarely a dad there. Is this your little fella? I'm like, that's my little fella there now, yeah? Giving him all the stats on him, you know. How he's getting on developmentally, what he's into, how he's getting on with his potty training, what he's watching on the telly. And then I go to the guy, what about you? Where's your little fella? And he's like, no, I don't have any kids here. I'm like, what the fuck have I just done? He says, no, it's not weird. My kids used to come to this play group and I still come in every now and again and chat to all the parents. I'm like, you know what? That's even weirder. Play groups are not that good. You think, fuck it, I must go back to them, you know? They're not that good. Like, you never find yourself in a situation going, do you know what now? Would it be weird if I popped down to baby yoga without a baby, do you think? And then I clocked what he was up to, you know, because he was like, actually, do you know what now, Chris, is it? I'm selling some tickets. Oh, there you go. That's your fucking angle. I'm selling some tickets to the local fireworks display there above the church for Guy Fawkes tonight. Do you want any interest in? Like $7.50 for a ticket? I said, you know what, I'm okay, thanks. I'm all right. And 20 minutes later, he goes around the whole fucking thing, you know. Comes back to me. Oh, sold it out. Even if you wanted to go now, all gone. Fireworks. Sold out. You missed your chance. I'm like, the fireworks that are taking part in the sky, you sold out the sky. What are you going to do? Go around telling everyone they're not allowed to look up for the next 15 minutes, is it? Sorry, can you show me your ticket here before you look up? Or else have your fireworks at a very dangerous height. No, the kids are too healthy as well. That's one thing I will say these days. They're expected to be too healthy. Would you agree? One person, me and you, yeah. They're too healthy. Do you know what? Because have you ever tried to be as healthy as what the kids are expected to be these days? I did. I lasted about 4 days. I tried to be as healthy as my son was expected to be. 4 days and I fucking snapped. All of a sudden I was eating a sweet I found on the floor of my car. And my son was like, what's that? I was like, you wouldn't like it. How'd you know? Because you spat it out last week. That's how I know. And I still ate the fucking thing. I wasn't healthy as a child. Jesus Christ, this is what happened in my house, right? My mum and dad used to come in from the pub and wake me and my brother up to eat chips. That's how fucking healthy my mum and dad were. Wake us up. Wasn't a choice. It wasn't a choice. Come on down! Eat chips! Come on to the fucking... Me and my brother going downstairs like... Sitting at the table, you know? Me looking at my brother. We're up for school in 4 hours, you know that? My mother'd lean in and go, I'm up for work in 2 hours, shut up about it. Sing a song. What the fuck is happening here? Sing a song. And then my dad would go off, my eyes adored you, though I never laid a hand on you, my eyes adored you, singing into a batter sausage, you know, like... Me and my brother trying to sneak away up the bed. Up the next morning by 4 hours later, wondering why we can't get through a bowl of cornflakes. Every week that happened, every week, getting up for chips 1:30 in the morning. Sometimes I think I imagine it, and then other times I'll wake up myself at 1:30 in the morning fucking starving, still to this day. Still to this day. Woke my wife up and all one morning, I said, do you want to go for some chips? She's like, are you fucking mad? Go back to sleep. Sorry. My mother's terrified of mice, right? I have to tell you that for the next part of the story. When I was living in England, my mum had to fly in, right? When I was flying over here to do gigs, my mum used to fly over and do the babysitting, and she's terrified of mice. Like, so terrified, I remember getting a missed call off her when she was in London for the first time. I was like, oh, hello? She's like, Christopher, you never taught me about the fucking squirrels. I was like, all right, Jesus Christ. I didn't think I had to tell you, but you're going to London. Terrorism, hooliganism, squirrels. It wasn't on my list. It wasn't on my list. I said, ma'am, sorry, they're harmless. They won't do anything to you. You know, you've nothing to be afraid of. Brussels sprouts are harmless as well, and you don't like them. All right, yeah. What kind of fucking logic is that? I never force-fed you Brussels sprouts as a child either, though, did I? So anyway, the reason I tell it is because my mum used to do that the whole time, right? There was one Christmas Eve, they came in from the pub with the chips, but there was no sing-song. My mum was a bit on edge, right? Because there was a mouse in our house that hadn't been caught. I was there for a couple of days, right? And she's like having the chips, and there's no sing-song. She's giving me and my brother shit. She's like, I know you found the presents. I know you found the Christmas presents, you little shits. Of course he found the fucking presents. She'll always deny it. Didn't find anything. Didn't find anything. I swear we didn't find anything. My brother's like, we didn't even know we're getting FIFA. Jesus Christ. You fucking soup. You fucking serious. Eat your fucking chips and shut your mouth, okay? It was going on for ages, right? And I swear to God, I said this as a joke. I said, Ma'am, I swear on the mouse's life. I swear on the mouse's life, ma'am, we didn't find any presents. Bang, mouse trap. Full stop to my sentence. A fucking mouse trap went off in the front room as soon as I swore on its life. Went into the next room, there he fucking is. The fucking mouse in the mouse trap. I did that. Me. Do you know how awkward that was growing up after that? Swear on your mam's life? No. I won't. Nah. No thanks. No. I'm in goal again, so I'm okay. My dad's the opposite. My dad wouldn't be afraid of mice or a fucking real fucking man's man, like, wouldn't be afraid of rats or anything. I once saw my dad go to kick a rat in his bare feet, like, you know. He does not give a fuck. A rat came out of our shore in Knocknaheeny one time. It wasn't the size of a cat, it was the size of a donkey. I don't know how the rat got up the shore. To be quite honest with you, big fucking shoulders on him, walking around, fucking bullying people he was. People were running away, terrified of this rat. My dad found out about it, straight out after him, you know. Took my hurley off me on the way. I didn't even realise he took my hurley. Wasn't even fucking looking at me. Started following the rat, like a reverse Pied Piper. Even the rat knew he was in trouble. I never seen a rat reverse before. I was like, I started fucking turning around, walking backwards. All I can say is that rat ended up on the far end of the fucking primary school, like, you know. Up Cork. My dad gave me back the fucking hurley. Thank you. Thanks, mate. I was out his back garden one time, yeah. I was having a cup of tea, even having a lovely cup of tea there. And my dad's like, fucking what, huh? I was like, you all right? Okay. I'm like, are you okay? Next thing, our dog ran under the oil tank, yeah? My dad's like, rat! Fucking. I fucking ran up the stairs then, that's where I ran. Looking out my bedroom window then, yeah? There's the oil tank, there's my dad on his belly, as you would be, like, looking under the oil tank where a rat and the dog just went. His hand under there, yeah? It's a fucking beautiful picture, I swear to God. All you could see then on the opposite side of the oil tank was a rat coming out the other side. He looked fucked. He was staggering all over the place. He got away anyway, right? I think, do you know not now, either the dog's after biting him or my dad's after biting him, one or the other. My dad was annoyed about it. I went down to put the kettle on. Kettle wasn't working. Put two and two together. I said, what the fuck's after happening here? What had happened was the rat ran under the oil tank and nibbled into a little cable, right? So he got electrocuted. What I witnessed earlier, staggering from under the fucking tank, was an electrocuted rat. And he got away. And I think if any rat deserves to survive, it's that fucking rat who got electrocuted, chased by a man and a dog, like, you know. It was only years later I realised that my dad could have been killed in the most spectacular fashion. Had he grabbed the dog and the dog grabbed the rat. I couldn't do it. I couldn't kill. Like, I remember I lived in Dublin with my wife, right? And we saw a mouse in our apartment. And my wife was like, get the mouse. I was like, fuck it, right. So I went to the hardware store to get a mouse trap. Got a bit of a vision, a memory of the mouse I killed with my fucking mind. Do I even need to be here, like? Then I said, maybe I could save this mouse. I swear to God, I could save this mouse. I got a humane trap. A humane trap. I remember bringing her up to the clerk in the shop. Do you ever get the feeling that someone isn't into their job? Sorry, we've a mouse in our house there, and I was just thinking, I'm thinking of getting the humane trap. Do you know are they any good? He was like, oh, I don't know. Okay. Because we've a cat. I was like, well, I'm not going to buy your cat, all right? I didn't come in here for a fucking cat. Bought the humane trap home. Did you ever use them? A little plastic box, you set it up, like, read the instructions. Do not leave the mouse in the trap for over 3 hours, otherwise it's no longer humane. You may as well fucking kill the mouse. Something along them lines. I set the trap up, 12 o'clock. Went into bed, set my alarm for 3. I got up, no fucking mouse. Back into bed. 2 weeks it took me. 2 weeks to save a mouse. Getting up twice a night. I never forget it by Saturday morning. When I didn't even expect him to be there, 6 o'clock in the morning, wrecked, getting out of the bed, going over. There's a fucking mouse. We have a fucking mouse. We're a fucking mouse. Ran into my wife. We got him. She's like, calm down, Barack. I was like, okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, it's just a mouse, in fairness, I know, yeah. She said, can I go back to sleep? I said, you can't. I'm not allowed to leave the mouse go and leave unless he's at least 2 miles away from the house. It says it on the instructions, otherwise he'll just follow me straight back in. That's what it said. It must have happened. It must have happened. I did this material in Kilkenny, and a fella came up to me afterwards and said, Christopher, it's true. I caught a mouse, humanely, put a bit of lipstick on him. Put a bit of fucking lipstick on him. Very unhumanely, I would say. I caught a mouse humanely and put a bit of lipstick on him. I never expected to hear that sentence in my life. We left them go about 700 meters away, went home, put out a rake of cheese, got up the next day, fucking lipstick all over the cheese. What does that tell you? Tells me a lot about you anyway, to be quite honest. So I was there to my wife going, look, you're going to have to drop me somewhere, like, with the mouse, you know? Her morning off, like, she was having none of it. Eventually, she got into the car, yeah? I'm next to her in the car then. I have a plastic box on my lap with a mouse inside it. And she's not happy about it, like. She's like, where do you want me to go? I'm just trying to get her to stay on a roundabout to confuse the mouse, you know? That's all I'm trying to stay on the roundabout there a while anyway. I don't know where to go. Exit 2 there, do you know what I mean? Do you understand? Never saw the mouse again. Never saw the mouse again. Do you know what? Do you know what my wife said to me? You should have called the mouse a taxi. That's what she actually said to me. I called myself a taxi when I was here last. Living in Cork last, I called myself a taxi out in the South Douglas Road. 45 minutes later, no sign of the taxi driver. So I had to ring him. And this is how the taxi driver answered the phone. Where are you? I was like, okay, fucking hell. That's actually my question. I'm fucking waiting for you. Went over and checked the cupboard. You're not in there, no? Where are you? Where are you? He said, I can't find your house. Okay. Roughly tell me where you are, and I'll guide you to the house. This is what a taxi driver said to me. I'll tell you exactly where I am now. Just outside the shop where I play the lottery. Did you hear something about me and a fucking mouse or something? He arrived on anyway, you know. Got into the car. Where you going? I'm going to City Limits, please. Comedy club in town. Very good. Anyone good on? I'm on myself, actually. Oh, you're a comedian. Are you famous, like? Well, you're asking the question. You tend not to ask that. And I think people are too famous these days, I have to be honest with you. It's getting out of hand. I think you know when someone is too famous when they start involving their cousins and brothers and stuff. Do you know what I mean? In the celebrity shows. It's not the celebrity, it's related to the celebrity. Conor McGregor, Dancing with the Stars with Conor McGregor's sister. Fuck off. Fuck off. Where's it going to stop? Where's it going to stop? Surely we've more fucking celebrities than that. Marty Morrissey's nephew. It's fucking bullshit. Like, you wouldn't trust an electrician's cousin to wire your house, would you? Nah, my cousin's available there. Oh, is he Sparks as well? He's not. Well, I send him around doing your fuck. I loved living in England and doing the gigs over there. It was amazing. But outside the gigs, right, they never, ever knew how to take me. They took me very seriously all the time. I'm never joking to them. My son's Montessori, you know. All the old ladies that run the Montessori call me Daddy because they don't know my name. They're like, oh, hello, Daddy. And I go, all right, kids. And they go, it's actually Linda. I'm like, I know, Linda. I have a massive fucking name badge. I'm just messing. I turned up to the Montessori one day, I swear to God. My son was in an accident. To say they went into too much detail would be the understatement of the century. I'm so sorry, Daddy. Jack has had an accident today. It happened at roughly 11:05 out on the yard. He fell out of one of our yellow and red plastic cars. Registration. DFUNZ. Bumped his head on the pavement. We applied a cold press to the area as is procedure. He didn't cry for too long. I showed him a little bit of Peppa Pig. I hope that's okay. But Daddy, would you mind signing the form? They have an accident form for the situation, right? It's got A4 piece of paper full of text, yeah? Accident declaration form, whatever you call it. There's the diagram of a toddler on it. The outline of a toddler. The only way I could describe it is, do you ever rent a car? Have you ever had to rent a car and they give you the form and there's a little picture of a car on it? They've just done that with a fucking toddler, right? And there's a circle around wherever there's any existing damage. There's a little circle around the head on the toddler. I'm like, that wasn't there this morning. No, anyway, that was... Do you mind signing the form, Daddy? I said, no bother. I said, look, just before I sign it, is he going to lose his no-claims bonus, right? Thank you very much for what is very clearly a fucking joke. I don't care that she didn't laugh, right? She said, I don't know. She doesn't know. She doesn't know. And before I can stop her, she's gone to find out. I'm just going to find out. I'll go and ask Linda. Are you fucking joking me? She's gone to get help. I run in to catch my son. I pick him up, forgetting to sign the form, and I run all the way home with him. Laughing the whole way. Imagining that woman going into the staff fucking room and asking about my son, Jack Kent, a 2.5-year-old's no claims bonus. I got home, I swear to God, I got home. I was still laughing at it hours later. And then my wife's phone started ringing. Little stars are calling. Oh, shit. Clearly to rat on me. Oh, shit. I answered the phone. I said, hello? No, this is Jack's daddy. She's not available at the moment, sorry. I apologize about that now. I'm really sorry about that. That's just a bit of a misunderstanding there. I'm really sorry about that. No, I'll sign the form. I know, I forgot to sign the form. I'll sign the form first thing in the morning, okay? I promise, yeah. No, he's great. He's in great form now. He's in great form. He's fine, yeah, he's flying it. As a matter of fact, he said he even started speaking a bit of Mandarin after his nap. Nothing, fucking nothing from you. Hello, hello. Do you know what she said to me? I don't think we're doing any Mandarin. Okay, that's all right, Jensen. He must be picking it up somewhere else, I suppose. My license expired over there. My Irish driving license expired in England, and because I didn't have an address or PPSN card, Ireland did the most Irish thing they've ever done to me in my life. I tried to renew my Irish driving license, and Ireland was like, no, you've made your bed now. That was the extent of the fucking email. No, you've made your bed now. There you go. Get an English one. How'd you like it over there? And that's what I had to do. I had to get an English license. It's grand, like, you know, whatever. It's the only way I could get back on the road. My Irish was expired. To get the UK license, you know, there's a flag on it that I wouldn't be mad about. Personally, wouldn't pick that one. That's fucking karma, I suppose, for scribbling that flag off my Reebok runners for many years. My mother always taught me to do it. Don't you scribble that out. I'll scribble out whatever I fucking want, all right? I ticked a form on it. I ticked a box on the form that I never ticked before. Organ donation. Never ticked it before. Do you know? And I believe when you're dead, you're dead. I genuinely do. And if you can help someone out, then you should. Because you can imagine how one of your family members would feel if your family member was saved by someone donating organs, you know? But weirdly enough, I didn't tick that form until very recent in my life, because even though I believe that's the way things go, I always had this weird fear in the back of my head, you know? This little fucking kind of irrational fear in the back of my head like that. Maybe you're fucking, you know? When you're gone, but where are you going? Afterlife, party, do you know what I mean? Don't want to be turning up without shit. Fucking awkward enough at the best of times, like. What I mean, like, you could just imagine it, like, turning up at the pearly gates. Jesus Christ, it's real. I'm here. I'm at the gates of heaven. There's a beautiful angel staring at me. And then she goes, Where's your face? Right, you fucking joking me? They took the face off me. Are you fucking serious? I thought it was all laid on up here anyway. You could be whatever you want to be. No, it's bring your own face. No one told you to get rid of your face. Fucking hell. There I am then in the afterlife, counting down the days to Halloween, you know? The only day I can have a bit of crack. Then I remember my dog's in heaven. He won't care what I look like. My dog is here. And I'll be happy for a split second before I remember we had him cremated. Oh, jeez. He's over there, yeah. He's here, all right, but he's more afraid of the Hoover than he ever was. I got one trip away, you know, before COVID happened, I got one trip away. We just got out. Just before the whole lockdowns happened, we spent a month in Australia at a comedy festival, and it was fucking brilliant. Me and my whole family at the comedy festival, and it was class. But the difference, because me and my wife, Niamh, spent our 20s in Australia traveling around, and the difference between the phone calls, partying, my mum would ring me, partying in my 20s, having a fucking great time, then I'm over there with my family in my 30s. She's ringing me, and I can't stop talking about the drying. The drying is unreal, girl. Fucking unbelievable. I know, I keep going on about it, man, but listen to me here, right? I was fucking hanging a t-shirt out there yesterday, and it was dry before I got the second peg on it, you know? Unbelievable, I swear to God. Fucking gorgeous. I lived in England for the last couple of years. I was living in a ground floor apartment, and the reason I took the apartment is because I had a ground floor apartment, 2 little double doors open out like that. I have a bit of grass outside my door. Perfect, I said. We take that apartment, I have 2 small kids, I can put my clothes horse inside the gap there. Perfect. That's the only fucking reason I took the apartment. Straight away, I put the clothes horse out, I put my clothes on it. Day later, I get a letter in the door. You're not allowed to do that. From the management of the apartment block, you're not allowed to put your clothes outside. It's against the rules. I was like, what the fuck? And it said it was unsightly, which really offended me, actually. Because I keep a very tidy clothes horse, I will have you know. I'm fucking gifted with a clothes horse. I could fit a rugby team's home and away kit on one clothes horse. Unsightly. I said that was a piece of fucking art. Are you mad or what? I tell you now, right, that was, what I'm talking about now, the type one I had was a 3-tier concertina. That's the kind of clothes horse we're talking about. 3-tier concertina, a little flick on the top for all your socks. I've only ever had 3 clothes horses in my life. I look after them. Get them serviced once a year, like, I don't just throw them in the bin. There's only one clothes horse I had a problem with. I got the long-winged one. Do you know the long-winged clothes horse? I thought, that's fucking brilliant. I'm going to fit loads of clothes on that. The long-winged clothes horse. A fantastic idea until you have one big towel. Then you have a game of fucking buckaroo on your hands before you leave. So I did a bit of digging, you know. I put my clothes horse out there. I did a bit of digging. It says the management of the apartments. I did a bit of a digging. It's actually a lady called Betty, and she's a pain in the hole. She lives here. She's on the committee. She's a pain in the hole for going through the rules and sending letters. I said, fuck her, like, you know. I just keep putting the clothes horse out there. Keep getting the letters. What are you going to do? Like, keep putting the clothes horse out there. Keep getting the letters. Months and months and months and months. And I don't even know Betty. I never met her in my life. Don't know what she fucking looks like, but I make up everything about her in my head. Anything I dislike, I fucking associate that with Betty. You know, all little things that annoy me. Fucking cooking your eggs in the microwave. I don't know why that bothers me, but I'm like, that's how fucking Betty cooks her eggs anyway. Fucking lazy bitch. Get a bowl out, you fucking saucepan. Get a saucepan out. That's not the fucking same whisk it every 8 seconds, Betty, is it? All these imaginary conversations with myself. And she drives a big Mini, you know. I don't get, if you want to drive a Mini, drive a fucking Mini. If you want to drive a big Mini, get a normal fucking car, Betty, all right? Get a normal car and stop annoying people. And she stands on the back of her own shoes. You know people that do that? She goes round and flattens all that down and stands on the back of her own shoes like a child didn't make them shoes for you in a sweatshop on the other side of the fucking world. Keep putting the clothes horse out there. All of a sudden then, the letters are the same. I get a letter, it's like a final warning, you know? Red stamps, final warning. Different tone to this letter. If you continue to put your stuff outside, the maintenance man will be forced to take them away. Is that right, Betty? The fucking maintenance man that is non-stop bitching about you to me. That's the fella, is it? He can't fucking stand you, girl. He's going to come and take my wife's knickers, is he? And my son's Thomas the Tank Engine's pajamas off the fucking clothes horse. I don't think so. Scare tactics, that's all that is now. I send a fucking message back. I put the clothes horse straight out there. No clothes on it. Just all the letters she's been sending me. That's all I clipped them all onto it. Didn't get a letter again after that. The maintenance man even gave me a bit of dirt about her, you know. He said, you know what? He said, you're not going to believe this, Chris. Betty has a clothes horse. She doesn't have to put it outside because she plugs it into the wall. I couldn't get over it. Isn't the point of a fucking clothes horse to conserve energy, save the planet and all that? Giving a fuck, Betty, are you? Plugging it into the fucking wall. I imagine if you gave her a keep cup, she'd shove it up a whale's hole herself, you know? But it worked. We never got it again. We never got the clothes horse. I put the clothes horse out there with all the letters she sent me clipped onto it, and it worked. I didn't get another letter, and I even started seeing other clothes horses appearing on the fucking. I was after starting a revolution. I just put my clothes on the clothes horse one day then, and a lady was passing, and she started talking to my wife. Not looking at me, not even acknowledging me, but I'm putting clothes on the clothes horse, and this lady said to my wife, "Oh, you have him well trained?" About me. Putting a sock on a fucking thing. And my wife, by the way, took the full credit as well. You have him well trained, my wife, and thank you. Like I hadn't a fucking clue how to do that before we met. Thank you, yeah. Like there's a fucking training video on YouTube. Me and my wife, a training montage. It's not Rocky, it's me and my fucking wife. She meets me and I'm fucking useless. In the beginning of the music is nice and slow. I'm just running. Camera pans out. I'm chasing an actual horse to try and put clothes on him, you know? My wife is like, what a fucking idiot. Next shot of the montage, I'm folding a buggy, you know? My wife runs over and unfolds the buggy and takes a child out of it. You fucking This fella's gonna need some fucking training, you know? Then I'm giving a baby chino to my son. My wife kicks it out of my fucking hand and it burns a hole in the table. Then the training starts, you know. Okay, we're going to have to do a bit of training. The music kicks up a beat. Here we go. That's my favourite part of any mancha. Getting stronger. Slamming the dishwasher door. My wife is there with the fucking stopwatch. Dun, 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 dun. High-fiving. Checking the temperature of the baby chino with my elbow. Running through the beach in the sand with the fucking buggy, like, you know. But it doesn't work. I'm sure loads of you men have been told you're well-trained, and I'll tell you why it doesn't work. Is men love trophies. If you really want us to be well-trained, make a fucking competition. The most well-trained man in Ireland, 2022. Can you imagine it? I think it needs to be something like Crufts. You know Crufts for the dogs? Except instead of dogs, you have men and their partners. Can you imagine it? Welcome to the most well-trained man, 2022. Our first competitor is Mark from Dublin. He's only 21, he's beautiful, he's well-groomed. Look at him there, he's a gorgeous little thing. You can see his ankles and everything. I don't know what that's about. I don't know what it's about, but it's a big thing this year in the competition. And he's here with his new trainer, Nicola, today. They're recently engaged. Woo. His mother there, last year's trainer, in the crowd, looking on. She's like that then. Come on. Obstacle course, you know. Come on, Mark. Come on. Come on. Oh, he's a bit shy. Come on. A can of Heineken in the back pocket. Come on. All right, yeah, I'm gone. Up the seesaw, down the seesaw, into the fucking dirty dishes. Disaster. Mark is looking for a dishwasher. There's no fucking dishwasher. She's there splashing the hot soapy water in his face. For fuck's sake. His mother's in the crowd looking on. This wouldn't have happened under me now. No. No dishwasher in my house. You have loads of different rounds and all the stuff that men are shit at. Listening round. Eye contact round. 100-meter Hoover race. One of the rounds, they just throw a date at you, you know? 11th of March. Can I phone a friend? Can I phone a friend? As good as it would be, I'd be too good for it, you know. Genuinely, I'm so fucking well-trained. Like, this is how well-trained I am. I was in a cafe with my kids, right? And they cleaned up after themselves, I swear to God, right? Putting all the stuff in recycling and all that. And a lady looked at me. Oh, you have them well-trained. Like a prick, I took the fucking credit as well. Thank you. Thank you. And then she went, could you do this one? And she put her finger into her husband's eye, right? Half an inch. She didn't even fucking flinch. Could you train this one? I thought that's the kind of thing that Betty would do now, you know? I thought Betty was gone. I thought I defeated her. Knock on my door. Maintenance man is there, you know? 2 letters. I'm like, hello, what's the story, man? Letter for the clothes horse. And I'm like, I thought we beat her, man. I thought she was gone. She's on her holidays. And he goes, I have another letter as well, for the sand pit. And I'm like, what? He said, yeah, I'm sorry, man. There's a sand pit outside your door. Somehow, she's after going into the rules and figuring out you're not allowed to have a sand pit outside your door. A little fucking sand pit. For my kids, a little plastic thing. You flip it open, there's sand in there, you put water in there, and my kids have a fucking great time in it. It's about that size. And somehow, she's after figuring out, from the rules, I'm not allowed to keep that outside the door, right? There's fucking pictures of it clipped onto fucking... What the fuck? Are you fucking joking me? Like, this is getting out of hand now. She's coming after my family. Paranoid out of my fucking head. I'm like, fuck the letters anyway. I'm sitting out the front like Tony Soprano guarding the fucking sandpit. Still don't know what she looks like. About a week later, she knocked at my door. She introduced herself to me. Said, hello. Hi, I'm Betty. Oh, I'm like, oh, hi, Betty. I'm Chris. How are you? Been sending a lot of letters there to you. I'm really sorry now, but your sandpit, it needs to go. Like, you're not allowed to have it. It's in the rules. And I'm like, oh, really, yeah? I'm really sorry. It's not me. I have a very difficult job here. A lot of the residents around here are really annoying, and they're constantly bothering me about the washing and about the sandpit, and my heart fucking sank. I was like, oh my God, is Betty sound? And then she said something that was just a clue. She said, also, the garment donkey. I'm like, no, it's you, Betty. It's you. I've never in my life heard someone call a fucking clothes horse a garment donkey. A garment donkey in my life. And I'm saying, are you serious, Betty? Really? She said, yeah, a number of them. They're really difficult. They keep on bothering me. I'm on the committee. I have to go about it. I'm like, that's a shame, isn't it, Betty? That's a shame that people would think that way. I started playing our own game. That's a shame, isn't it, though? People will go into the rules and figure out that something my kids use every day and love is against the rules. A little plastic thing that looks like a big flower pot. That bothers them. I'm not allowed to dry my clothes outside. That bothers them as well. Saving the planet here, Betty. Drying my clothes outside. I said, you know what, Betty? Fuck them. Fuck them. And that was absolutely beautiful, because what I was really saying was, fuck you. And I may have went over the top with it. I said, fuck them, Betty. Fuck those fucking pricks. You send them to me, Betty. You send them to me. Fuck them. Fuck them. She was baffled. I mean, like, beautiful. Left my house, got into a big Mini. I don't know how I knew that was going to happen. The next day then, me and my son are outside, drawing on the fucking pavement, right? I started the fucking war now, right? Drawing all the chalk on the fucking pavement. Beautiful, lovely day. So then we went to the shop to get an ice flat. On the way back from the shop, there's the maintenance man, my friend, mopping up the chalk. Mopping it up. He doesn't want to be mopping up chalk off a pavement. Who the fuck wants to do that? And I don't want to have to ask him where the order came from. I know now. I know where the order came. I'm 100% certain. Now, in fairness, we did write fuck Betty. Okay? So to be fair. Big, huge writing. All the colours of the rainbow. My son is crying. He's like, Daddy, why is he mopping up the drawings? Don't worry, son. We'll do it all again tomorrow. Don't worry about that. I went to Ireland to do some gigs, right? My mum came in to babysit then, and basically got a missed call at my mum, and I'm like, fucking squirrels again. Squirrels, ma'am, I can't do. It's not about the squirrels at all, Christopher. It's about Betty. You don't think she can do much more, do you? Betty told my fucking mam on me. Betty told my fucking mam on me. I said, ma'am, I'm sorry, no, look, I wouldn't have spoke to her in that way, no, ma'am, but I'm telling you now, right? Ma'am, okay, ma'am, it's you got them the sandpit, and I'm not getting rid of the sandpit because someone doesn't like it, right? They love it, they're playing it every single day, and I'm not dragging it in and out of the house either. And my ma'am said, no, she didn't mention the sandpit. Now I'm like, what did she say? She just called around there, and she said, Chris keeps putting his washing outside. He keeps doing it. He's got loads of letters. I've told him myself, can you please have a word with him? And I said, what did you say? I just said, Chris doesn't live here at all, and I closed the door in her face. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks for coming to my show. Thank you.